Yes! The harvest is in. And now you can all relax because it means that the supply of Hawkston lager in 2022, unlike the supply of gas and electricity and avocados, is assured. Hello and welcome to my new gym. Here's how it works. I've filled it with this mountain of spring barley, and then what I do every evening is come in here and try to walk up in it. It's not easy. You can feel it in your glutes and all the other muscles you have. And then the real genius is that after I get fit, I can turn my gym into Hawkston lager. How clever is that?
Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Diddly Squat Farm here in Farming Simulator 22 with me, CWATTY. First things to get out of the way today, you will notice this commentary does not match the idiot sat in the webcam on the screen right now. That is because when said idiot in the webcam on the screen right now recorded this content earlier today, he must have accidentally pressed the wrong button on his Stream Deck and muted his microphone for the entire recording session. So, I'm having to do a new commentary in post because otherwise I'd have to scrap the whole footage and scrap the whole video and record a new one, and obviously there'd be a bit of a discrepancy between where we finished the last episode and where we're starting this one. So what I'm doing today, I'm taking the last of the sorghum harvest from the two fields that we harvested in the last episode, and I'm taking it down to the mini flour mill at the shop, where we're going to start doing some flour production, because then we're going to be able to start making some bread at the farm, which will be a nice way of making a bit of money. Also, there's not really a full trailer load here, so it saves me travelling all the way to the other grain mill to sell it. So what I'm kind of doing is trying to divide up the crop that I'm harvesting currently. I'm selling some of it, and then I'm also, if I can use some of it, I will use some of it. But the plan today, of course, is that once we've got through, got rid of this sorghum, we're going to have a look at doing swathing of a couple of wheat fields. Because we've got a couple of wheat fields to harvest, and because this map has got such bad fields at the minute, where things haven't been fertilised properly, weeds haven't been taken care of, lime has not been applied, ploughing has not been done, and other factors, the yields this winter, this season, are so poor. And that's why I've been brought in, because we're going to get the harvest in, and then I'm going to get the fields worked properly, so that next year, when we harvest on the map, we'll get a lot more stuff, and be able to hopefully make much more profit for Jeremy and Kaleb, and obviously keep Cheerful Charlie a lot happier. So yeah, just come into the building. I've got some dairy products there. Got some sugar over there from the sugar beets. So what we're going to do in a minute, I'm going to jump out of the tractor and I'm going to go move some of the pallets, like the sugar for instance. I'm going to actually go put into the little mini dairy thing, because then I can start making chocolate. And we've got no more sugar beets to go in there. But at the moment, obviously, I set these machines up like to do this, and I set them to selling, but I realised a little bit later on that I really should be distributing the flour so it goes to my bakery on the farm to be made into bread. And everything else can kind of be spawned. Again, don't want to be selling sugar, we want to be distributing it, because we want to put the sugar into the chocolate to make the diddly squat chocolate. So yeah, get the sugar in there. We can sell that stuff. We're going to sell that stuff. Saves me transporting it at the moment. A little bit more sugar for the machine. There we go. Now, I'm also not sure, I think I said this before, whether these are real materials over here or whether they're just decorations. If they are real, then we ought to get using them. We ought to get them hoovered up and put into machines or sold. One of the two. Because there's no point having crop just sitting around doing nothing. Now, I do have some sorghum left over in this trailer, because these machines only hold about 8,000 litres. So, I've got some sorghum left that I need to get rid of. And I think I'm going to take it to the silo. I think that's the best place for it. We're going to take it, put it in the silo. Everyone can be happy. And yeah, all be good. I've just got to find it and remember where it is on the map. Okay, it's right down there. Okay. You can definitely find that. And then, like I say, we're going to head back to the other field. Go back, get the combine, take the current header back to the store, and chuck that into the... and then get the swather. The pickup header for the combine, and then get the swather and appropriate header for that picked up. So yeah, the silo will be down there, I think. Yes, here we go. We can tip the sorghum in here, and that will be so much better. There we go. Spin round, and then we can head back and head towards the wheat fields. We'll have a little bit of a drive round, because one of the things I'm checking as well today, I discovered something to do with the animals on this map. That for some reason, when I created this save game, it didn't create properly. Because I've been told by Farmer G on a recent episode of this series that there should be cows, sheep and chickens on the map. And I definitely don't have any pens anywhere on this map. So what I did, I loaded up a brand new game in a different save slot. Loaded up, went into the game, saved it, had a look on the map. Sure enough, there's cows at the farm, chickens at the farm, the sheep at the farm on the map. And I was like, how come they didn't appear when I created this save? And then my next thought was, how on earth am I going to do this? Get the animals into this game? I don't really want to restart the whole save, because I don't want to harvest sugar beets and potatoes again. And I didn't really know how I could fiddle it any other way to get the stuff in place. So instead, I turned to my modding brain, and I decided instead to take the Placeables XML file from the new save, the brand new save which has the animals, then take the Placeables XML from my current save, this one, open them both up in Notepad++, and using some of the plugins and widgets available to Notepad++, I was actually able to combine both the XML files into one, keeping all the relevant data from this save, but adding into it the missing data for the animal pens and animals from the new save, and creating a sort of hybrid save, which now means that I have, or will have, animals on this map. You won't see them in today's video because I didn't actually go looking for them when I was recording. I really just wanted to get into the harvesting, but I know they are there. I know they are there. So yes, we've got the wheat field to do. The wheats. I mean, there is some more sorghum to harvest later on, so we will end up getting another header. But as I did also mention in the last episode, I might get a smaller header, just so it fits through the gates a little bit easier, especially on some of the fields where there's not a lot of room to drive in with a header trailer, disconnect, and then pick up the header off the trailer. Right, down here we go, I think. Yep. There's also a nice area here for placeables, which I may come to use. Because again, we've got a lot of the DD stuff that we could put on the map. There we go. Open the gate. Plenty of room here, which is good. So I should be able to get all three machines into this field, because there's quite a bit of room down the side here. Because you've got to drive down here to get to that other field with soybeans on at the top there. Right, here's the class harvester that we're going to take back to the store. And, as I say, swap the header for a pickup header. And then get ourselves a swathing machine. Also, I'm going to put a clip into this video of a real-life class combine harvester in my area, quite close to me today, that looked like it was being driven by a farm sim driver on the road, and had a very, very scary moment. So I'll put that clip into the video whilst I'm driving back to the store, and you can watch that and just shake your head in disbelief. Also think of how lucky the car driver following it was. So yes, we'll head in here. We'll get rid of this header and trailer. And then we'll, like I say, get the pickup header. We'll sort out the swather in its header. I'll also try and sort out a trailer for the swather, although I'm finding that the swather header doesn't seem to play very nice with any headers, trailers. So we'll get rid of that. Right. Done. Let's go inside. Grab that. And we want the pickup header. It's easier for me to find it in the mod list. There it is, MacDon pickup header. We'll put it into the class colour. That'll do. We'll have one. Do I want it with a crop catcher? No, I won't bother. I'll just have it standard, I think. Yeah, we'll have that. We want a swather. We're going to have it Massey Ferguson. And obviously we'll have the header for it. Right, now comes the interesting bit. What am I going to pick for a header trailer? Because I've tried a couple of things recently. We've tried the Lizard MDT on our multiplayer server. And it doesn't really work on that. It slides off it. Even with the straps, the ratchet straps on the trailer itself, it doesn't stay on. I've then got this little thing, but I'm wondering if that is too small for the pickup header, because it is not just out of 9.2 meters. Then there was this thing which I saw on the mod hub, which can transport headers. And also acts as a fuel trailer. But I'm not sure if it's going to be too big. Also, with the swather, I don't think the swather's got a standard combine attacher on it. So I don't think it would work with this. But yeah, you could have it as a fuel trailer as well for your combine. So you could put a corn header on it and a normal header on that at the same time, I believe. So I think we're into the universal header trailer pack, and obviously we're going for the 6 meter plus one. Or I think that might still be a little bit on the short side. I was going to get class colours, wasn't I? But then I think to myself, no, because the swather's Massey Ferguson, it would be better if I had the swather in Massey Ferguson colours. Maybe a light grey, yeah. And put my header on that. I think that works definitely much better. Right, let's go find the harvester. And we'll go get the pickup header done. Yeah, put on. Just going to have to give it a bit of a nudge. There we go. Spot on. Right, we'll take that over to the field. Like I say, I won't bother with a header trailer for the pickup header. But we will need to avoid the vehicles when we're driving around the map, which could be a challenge because they always seem to show up when I'm on the road and show up at the worst moments. Dum, dum. So park this just for the moment behind the trailer, because obviously before we can use the combine we're going to need to do the swathing. So we'll leave that there. Right. So I now need to try and get this header on this trailer. And this will probably be the fun and games of the episode, ladies and gents. Prepare to laugh at my failure. My epic fails. Because this just doesn't work great, I don't think. For some reason, it catches. It's almost as if this machine doesn't lift the header up high enough in its raised position. It catches on the trailer, and if you have a big trailer you can't get it over the wheels. And like I see there, I'm trying to put it on the trailer and I'm actually pushing the trailer because the header's too low. Obviously it doesn't help as well that I'm a little bit below the header trailer. Yeah, it just doesn't look high enough, look. And it just doesn't look like it sits on there properly at all. Yeah, and I can't turn properly, look, because I'm already hitting the header with my wheels. Can't turn. I'm not going to make the exit. I don't think I'm going to be able to get out the exit. Now, what I'm probably explaining here is how that when this mod first came out, it was literally just the swather machine, this razor bar 16-inch conditioner, which is a mower that teads the grass at the same time, and then you had a 9-foot or 9-meter mower. It mowed the grass and windrowed it for you. That's all that this mod did when it first came out. But it also had a trailer included in the pack, which was so much better. Because what you used to do with it, you used to drive the machine onto up onto the trailer, where the wheels would sit in these little, like, cutouts. The header would still be attached to the front of the machine. And then you would apply the ratchet straps on the trailer to strap the machine down, and you would pick up the trailer from where I'm standing now, okay, and you would basically pull the whole machine, you'd tow the whole machine sideways. Because of the way the wheels spin, the steering wheels at the back, as you started to drive, they would rotate to fall in line with the direction you're towing it. The front wheels would be lifted up on the trailer, so they're not going to stop you. So the whole machine was like towed. The swather and with the header attached to the machine, rather than putting the header on a trailer. And that worked so much better than this method. I don't know why, when the swather mod got updated, the guy chose to remove the trailer from it, and instead forced us to try and use normal combine header trailers, which just don't seem to work well. They don't seem to sit well and fit well with it, look. It's annoying. Because otherwise, this is about the only thing that I don't like about this mod. Everything else about the mod, I love. Love to bits since I've started using it. I just don't like the transportation of the header, because it doesn't work with any of the in-game trailers. And it doesn't seem to sit on low body trailers. I can't get a good steering lock because I keep hitting the trailer. I'm going to hit the fence. Right, back it up, back it up, back it up. I mean, to be fair, it's on there quite good now. It's actually sitting on there quite okay at the minute, but It doesn't auto-lock on to any header trailers like the combine headers, so it does have a tendency to fall off the trailer as you're driving around maps, which again gets super annoying. So I'm actually thinking what I might do is I might still have an original copy of the original Swather mod somewhere. An original copy of the mod which had the little trailer. And what I might do is try and create my own hybrid version of the mod by taking the current version and adding the trailer into it from the old version, and seeing if I can do that. If I can do that, then I'll have the perfect solution then, because I'll be able to take the machine and tow it on its original trailer with the header attached to the machine. And I think that will be much better. But anyway, we'll get this in the field. I've got room, so I can drop the trailer off. I can then pick up the header, and hopefully shouldn't do a lot of crop destruction in the process. So just back it up nice and tight. There we go. There we go. See, that worked well. Only did a little bit of crop destruction, look. Right. So, we're going to do a couple of headlands. That's the plan. And then we can do the actual swathing with the combine to separate the crop from the straw and waste material. Now, another reason why I'm doing this, not just because of the issues with the fields and the fact that all the fields are giving us poor yields and I want to maximise the yield, but another reason why I'm doing this now is because this is actually going to be part of the new Farming Simulator 25 game when it comes out November 12th. Swathing is going to be part of the base game, so you're going to be able to do this in the new farm sim, but as yet we don't know from Giants if there's any gameplay benefits to doing harvesting this way over the sort of combine method, the normal traditional combining method. As I say, the mod here in FS22 grants you a 20% yield bonus, and 20% is well worth having. Although people are going to say, ah, it's an extra process, it's more work. Yes, but it's 20% more crop that you're getting for a little bit more effort. And on this map, at the moment, with the fields in the condition that they're in and the state that they're all in, 20% extra is definitely worth having. So yeah, what I'll do is I'll jump out of the mower here at the end of this headland, and then I'll jump into the combine just to quickly show you how the combine does. I'm also going to show you that you can, if you've got the combine set to chopping, straw chopping, actually then clean up all the straw swaths as you go, so you leave the fields nice and clean. However, you can, if you want, still leave the combine set to swath dropping, so that after it has separated the wheat from the straw and the rubbish, it dumps the straw and the rubbish out the back in nice windrows, so you can still do your baling and straw collecting if you want to. I am personally not going to be doing any straw collecting at this moment in time because there's a lot to do this season. There's a lot to do harvest wise on this map at the minute, and it's a little bit overwhelming because I don't want to hire workers, I don't want to use workers or anything. I want to do this kind of myself, because again, on the real Diddly Squat map there's only Jeremy, Kaleb, and the guy that comes in and does the harvesting for them, and obviously Gerald when Gerald shows his face. So in keeping with real life, I don't want to have hundreds of workers and courseplay people on the map at the same time. You know, I want to keep help to a minimum and have to do a lot of the work and grind myself. If that means, unfortunately, I don't get to some fields and some fields end up withering and dying, that's just unfortunate. That is just unfortunate, I'm afraid. I am one man and I have but one pair of hands. And especially with all the other tasks on the farm that we're likely to get involved in. But here we go. Doing a good job. So yeah, we are able to do some planting at the moment. So we could be replanting crops at this moment in time. But like I say, I am a little bit stuck. Good thing is I've got October and November where I'm able to plant wheat, barley, canola. I've got until October to be able to plant root crops, and I probably will be doing some root cropping on this map to protect the fields and also apply some natural fertiliser, some natural nitrogen to them over the winter before I can plant other crops in the spring when the calendar reopens. Also, because I'm going to be doing some conservative agriculture, there's some other little benefits from the root crops as well, in the fact that you don't have to do ploughing or cultivating of the root crops before you can do seeding. With conservative agriculture, it's possible to direct seed into a root crop, and you still get the fertilization bonus. Okay, so that's something else we're going to be exploring and trying in this save. just another cool little headland. So now we just zoom up and down, doing the rows. Like I say, get the field swathed completely, and then we can then just run round picking up the actual crop with the harvester, and see how much we can fit in the trailer in one go before the fill limit thing tells me I can't put any more crop in my 37,000 litre capacity trailer. Ugh. But we don't need to worry too much about that because we do have 2 fields of wheat to harvest, so the trailer's going to get plenty full. One and a little bit rows to do, I think. But we'll get there. And another thing I'm thinking of doing, ladies and gents, with this series, because obviously I'm going to try and do things without the aid of a lot of AI assistance. For me to do a lot of to make good progress between these videos, what I'm also thinking of doing is one day a week doing a stream on this map where I can do a lot of my all of my normal off-camera work on camera, just to try and help things out a little bit on the channel and with viewers, and maybe attracting some new subscribers who during the day here on YouTube might want to catch a bit of a live stream and have a live interaction with me. But the videos will still come out, the playlist videos will still be here, and will still carry on, and obviously will be structured as they kind of are now. It's just that it will be easier for me if, when I'm doing all the off-camera stuff between each recording session, instead of it just being a bit of like it going to waste, I can actually use it for some other type of content here on the YouTube. So you may find, ladies and gents, you get a Diddly Squat stream each week as well as a live video. However, I won't include the streams in the Diddly Squat playlist. They will remain separate from, so as not to mess up the playlist for people who just want to watch the actual, like, these episodes where I'm doing my more focused gameplay. But yes, first field has been mowed, and the header seems to go on the trailer much better that time. Maybe it's just awkward position at the shop. think it works a little bit better if the land you're on is definitely flat and level. You're not on any kind of slopes with that machine when trying to load. But it would also be nice if there was some ratchet straps and you could actually strap it on. That would just give me a little bit more confidence. Right, let's go. Get the rest of this lovely harvest picked up, and as you can see, like I say, I am doing the chopping, so I'm not leaving any straw behind. The straw's been chopped, shredded and dispersed across the field, ready to be recycled as organic fertiliser to help put nutrients back into the soil as it rots and breaks down. Plenty of good stuff happening. To unload in a second. See how much crop we're getting. See how much the trailers can hold. See if it caps out on me very early. There we go. Right. Pipe out. Go grab the trailer. And see how much it holds, shall we? And then we've probably reached the end of today's episode, ladies and gentlemen. So, hopefully, I'll get some more footage recorded this week. I'll get another video recorded before the end of this week. I'll also make sure before the next video that when I come to do the recording, I check what page my Stream Deck is on and don't just randomly hit buttons. I'll actually check them on the right page on the Stream Deck, because I think what happened today was I was on the default page on the Stream Deck rather than my actual streaming page, and instead of hitting the button to turn the lights on, my stream lights, I hit a button that muted the microphone. Right, well I actually got to unload the whole combine into that trailer without it complaining. So that tells me that wheat does not weigh as much as canola or sorghum. So I'll get to do some more harvesting, and I'll get the rest of this field done now, off camera. I'll get the first lot of wheat sold. Any that's obviously left over will go down to the mini mill and be put in there to help with the flour production for our bread making. and then I'll head over and start working on the next field. So when we come back for the next video, the next standalone video in the series, we'll be ready to go on and tackle some more harvesting, I think. Or we'll even go and have a look to see if the animals have appeared on my map due to the discovery and fix I've attempted today. So yes, I'll zoom up and down now, get the rest of this crop picked up on this field. I'll get the first lot of wheat taken care of, then I'll head over to the next field and make a start on that. So all I can say at this point then, ladies and gentlemen, is thank you very much for watching today's video. I really hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, please remember to leave your like on the video, leave me a comment. Also, if you would really like to treat me and thank me, I do have a Throne wish list, and on that wish list there are several lovely items related to this series. There are, in fact, some cases of Hawkstone on there. So if you'd like to purchase some Hawkstone lager for me, which I can then consume whilst recording these videos and making these streams, that would be very much appreciated, ladies and gentlemen. So check the link below in the description for the Throne wish list. And like I say, I look forward to seeing you again in the next video next week. Also, make sure you've got your notifications enabled, because there may be a live stream before that video is recorded. So, for now, take care of yourselves, ladies and gents. Stay safe. Goodbye from me. Cheerio.